And just going an overview of the features. Basically, it says on the sticker it comes with on the chassis. Super low lux lens, GT lens, very good in low light apparently. 29.5mm wide angle lens capability. 3.5-inch touch panel, which is, as you can see, pretty disproportionate to the rest of the camera. And 32 gig of internal memory. Just on the outside as well, f1.2 JVC HD lens GT, which is what they're terming for their newfangled range of lenses. So what we've got here is also it's Bluetooth compatible, widescreen 3.5-inch. So yeah, basically the screen itself is here's the rest of the body of the camera, and here's the screen, and yeah, you can see it's quite a difference. Basically, this is their frameless LCD screen, and most of the controls are actually on the screen itself, and there's a lot fewer buttons on the inside, which a lot of the cameras that came before this were known for. Basically, the only things that really survived are the buttons for changing between camera and video camera, and USB and the HDMI ports. It's got a K2 technology speaker for playback, and a lot of the functions on this this camera, as I said, are in the screen itself. The menus are all pretty much built into the camera software. So you can do wide and telephoto on the screen if you like, up here, or you can actually do it on the chassis, wide and telephoto there, and it also doubles as a volume button as well. Down here we got the interchangeability between record and playback. So what it does basically right now, if I press this button or this screen button here and go to playback, it actually closes the lens on the camera itself. And just like a smartphone, basically what you do is you can scroll it between time and date of when things were actually recorded. So just very smartphone-ish type of capability there. So you can go back to normal playback or record, delete scenes, switch between the internal memory with the 32 gig or the SD card, and you can do stuff via the menu on here as well. So search for scenes or photos, protect, cancel, copy, move, etc., etc. So there's a lot of upload settings, playback, etc. So basically we can go back to the normal record type menu here. On the screen itself here, it tells you what's going on. You can actually lock it if you hold it right there. So okay, so it's kind of hard to get the correct light on this, but I'll just show you a little bit of an overview of what the screen details. You got the snapshot menu up the top here. The method of the mode of recording, which is currently set on XP. You've got EP, which is economy, SP, which is standard, XP, which is your in between, basically in between Blu-ray and normal standard definition. It's your standard high def type of recording, and then you've got UXP, which is meant for Blu-ray. So we've got the time up the top middle here, stability control, seamless integration between the hard drive and the card, the SDHC card or SDXC card, battery meter auto, which is already on, the wind cut, the scene that the LCD is actually set for, which is close up, time remaining, time actually spent recording, and record button down here as well as on the chassis itself. So that's a bit of an overview on the screen and what it features. As for the menus, well, there's one really for the the video options, and there's one for the camera options. So these are called the common types of adjustments. So you've got the clock, the date, the language, monitor brightness. There's 7 different screens for this. Recording media for video, for image, operation sounds, auto power off, etc., etc. It kind of goes on. All the basic settings for outside of this this camera for playback on HD TV, video output, etc., etc. So that's kind of where that goes. But with the standard video settings, they've got like touch priority, the light settings, the gain, wind cut, export shooting for say if you want to copy stuff to iTunes or whatever, animation effect, high speed recording, which is your super slow-mo, time-lapse recording, which is I think is a fantastic little feature, auto record, so you can actually set it to record like a surveillance camera. If something moves or something happens, and it starts recording automatically. The shutter mode, well, this is where it starts getting into the realms of digital SLR cameras now, because it actually acts as a frame by frame, almost like a motor driven type of setup with a shutter mode. So record one shot or continuous shooting basically, and you can set the rate of continuous shooting, so low, high, medium, whatever. Face registration, smile shot, a lot of cutesy stuff in there. Video quality, zoom, basically 10 times optical up to 200 times digital, so that's pretty significant. Seamless recording from one media to another, XV color, etc., etc. Zoom mic, user button setting. The user button setting basically takes you to this here, and it's kind of like a shortcut to whatever you wanted to do on the LCD screen, so it makes it easier to record a given scene or a given setting. What we have is the battery release catch, so that just operates like that. Battery comes out, standard contacts at the top here. This is the upgraded battery. This is the 3750 milliamp hour battery. This is the size of the one that I just got. It says data battery on the outside, and this is another one with the data battery thing on it, but this is the one that came with it, and this is the standard size of the battery that comes with the camera. It's a VG114, and basically it only allows for 1400 milliamp hour as opposed to 3750, so you can understand this is only probably about 50-60 minutes worth of operation time, not including shooting time. So basically you've got about, I don't know, maybe 40-45 minutes of shooting time continuous. So I'm going to put this bigger one back in there because it's a lot more useful, and the smaller one as a backup. Under here we have the SD card slot. Now, cameras that came before this would have had one or two SD cards, maybe even a hard drive a few years back, but this one only has one SD card slot. What it says on the base here, if you can see it, is SDXC. Now that's Secure Digital Extended Compression. So we open this up and we take this out. Okay, this is a bit of an old one now, but this is a 16 gig Class 4 card. I've got some Class 10s as well, which will operate a hell of a lot better and give you better quality. But it only needs one to go in here. Basically, it's designed for secure digital extended compression instead of the high compression or SDHC cards. Now, the reason behind that is the SDXC cards start at 48 gig, and they work up to 64 and even 128 gig now, which is a little bit expensive, but it allows for about, combined with the internal memory of 32 gig and maybe anything between a 64 and 128 gig card, combined you've got maybe anything between 30 to say 70-75 hours. So under here, on the bottom here, you've got the identification plate, you've got a serial in behind the battery. On the outside, the fit and finish on this, I think is quite exceptional compared to other cameras that came before it. The component AV slots, basically they're properly hinged, they're sprung, and the connectors are really quite well tucked away, and well, you're not really fiddling around with the rubber plasticky things that could break off before. This time they actually close up properly, they're actually part of the chassis, and they work very well. This is the DC connector slot. And yeah, it's got a flash on the outside for your still shots. This is an LED flashlight. You've got the two microphones here, the K2 technology, and the optical zooms, autofocus, etc. details down the bottom here. The cover is actually motorized, so there's no need to fiddle around with the focus ring or anything like that, so there's no focus ring to worry about. As I said, it's Bluetooth enabled as well, so it can connect directly to a smartphone. The operational distance, I think, is roughly about 10 meters, so it's actually quite good. And yeah, if there was anything I had to really bark about this camera, it's just the fact that it's got a really shiny type of exterior. The chassis is very shiny and prone to scratching and a lot of fingerprints, but that's just a bit of nitpicking on my part, but it depends on what you're looking for, really. Also that, and the fact that it's the cameras that came before this weren't really that great to shoot indoors, but with this one it's kind of picked up the ball a little bit, but not really enough. They've made an attempt to try and get it a bit better than it was, but the super low lux, it does a great job of illuminating dark areas without the need for a light. But as far as the picture quality goes, when you're replaying it back on, say, a larger screen, it just kind of doesn't do the picture justice. I mean, they've tried, but they haven't really carried it far enough as far as I'm concerned. But overall, this is a fairly good camera. It's just under $1,000. The only difference between this camera and the one above it, which is the HM970, is the fact that it does 3D recording. Now, I couldn't really justify the expenditure of another $500 for something that I'm not really going to use, because I don't have a 3D TV. I'm not intending to get one either. But this is a very good camera for what it is, and it's very feature-packed, very handy, very compact, a very large screen, and I'd pretty well recommend it for someone who's not exactly amateur in the in video cameras, but someone who's probably in the intermediate range, who's got $1,000 to spend, and yeah, it's quite decent. It's right up there.